A British self-driving startup says it's ready to bring robo-taxis to London streets this year. Wave is developing the AI-powered vehicles, which it hopes can operate without human drivers. But London cabbies are not convinced. They say roads are just too complex and the technology is not ready.
The steering wheel turns, no hands needed. This autonomous test car drives itself through central London. Developer Wave built software using AI to read the road in real time to direct autonomous cars. The company wants to prove the system can handle London congestion. It also needs to satisfy UK safety rules. By late this year, robo-taxis could move closer to public use. Ride-hailing firms may also add them to their fleets.
Autonomous driving is one of the most complex engineering problems we have today. It requires developing a safety-critical system that's affordable to be mass manufactured around the world and has the flexibility to operate in many markets. This is an extraordinarily difficult engineering problem. But the good news is that AI provides a way to develop a level of intelligence that means that we can drive anywhere with mass market hardware.
A vehicle safety operator sits in the driver's seat. He can take control at any moment. That is a legal requirement in the UK at present.
Force in driverless taxis in the US, with 2,500 of them on the road. Experts have praised their safety record. But some see these cars as symbols of the powerful tech elite and their disconnection from the lives of ordinary people.
Hey!
Hello.
And there's one group who've decided to take action.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you all doing?
Doing well, doing well.
They call themselves the Safe Street Rebels and carry out their operations incognito.
They are heavily promoting themselves as the future of public transit. And we just fundamentally don't think they're the future of public transit. They're just a taxi where you don't talk to someone. And when that car is not parked, it's still driving around waiting. 50% of the miles they drive, there's nobody in the vehicle. In addition, they cannot be ticketed for any kind of moving violation in the city. We have videos of them driving 40 miles an hour on the wrong side of the road, and nobody can do anything about it. They're completely immune.
What, they're above the kind of rules that would stand for an Uber driver or a Lyft driver?
Yes, and if they can't do something about it, we can. Easy, luckily pretty easy.
We're not allowed to show you how they disable these cars, although it's not exactly high-tech.
So you're not putting them out of action permanently?
No, and we're not causing any damage to them either. It's painter's tape, so it doesn't leave any residue when you remove it.
All right, there's one coming.
Right?
There's one. Yeah.
Check this one.
Someone go for it. Hook it up! Woo!
Did you hear that? There was people on the sidewalk who were cheering them on.
The disabled car was now blocking the road.
So the one behind hasn't been taped, but is stuck. There's another one coming.
Oh my gosh.
3 of them. And they're just stuck.
Autonomous bus driven by computer on trial on a 12-minute loop around the Olympic Park. Travelling at 2 miles an hour, there is a staff member on board. We found 2 students to join us.
I think they're fantastic. I mean, you can see now we're moving incredibly smoothly at a decent pace. It's very safe, and the technology's there. It's brilliant.
You think computers are better drivers generally than human beings?
From this 5-10 minute trip, then yeah, probably actually. Yeah.
London is seeing a number of trials of driverless vehicles. This is the one in Greenwich. And the government is trying to make it easier to attract investment in autonomous vehicles.
I think it's going to change the lives of people across the world. We're going to see vehicles that can provide better transport options for people with disabilities, provide better public transport links at odd times of the day.
Persistent and annoying problem right outside his San Francisco condo.
So I was like, where's that coming from? I looked down and I was like, I think it's coming from the Waymo cars.
This parking lot full of driverless Waymo cars has had multiple incidents where suddenly the vehicles become confused and start honking all at each other. White says he heard it for the first time about 2 weeks ago after he was woken up around 4 a.m.
Then it happened again and again, and I started thinking, well, this is an issue.
White isn't the only one who's had issues with the noises either. Several people who live in the buildings nearby the parking lot have also had similar complaints.
Over the past 2 weeks, I've been woken up more times overnight than I have combined over 20 years.
Russell Pofsky lives in a building adjacent to White. He says the honking incidents have happened at random times during both the day and night and have started to take a toll on him.
I could not be more cranky today.
Close are we to driverless cars on the road?
We're going to be talking about that next. Waymo, Google's driverless car division, and they've just confirmed their cars are going to be fully operational, they say, by the end of 2026, so this year.
Well, our tech correspondent Roland Manthorpe met with their spokesperson who highlighted differences in the risk assessment between the US and the UK.
In the UK, our pedestrian behavior is tested and proven, and looking at the data that we've collected over 127 million miles of fully autonomous driving in the US, we're involved in 92% fewer crashes with pedestrians compared to human drivers. And so actually the jaywalkers, the pedestrians, that is something that we know we can behave very, very safely around. The geography of London, I think that is going to be the biggest difference. But that's also why we're doing this phased approach, where we collect the data, we learn the city, we train the driver, so that when it's time to let riders into service, we're ready, and it's going to be a great experience, the one that we provide in the US.
Well, you just said a phrase that I was going to ask you about before the camera came back up, but is this really happening?
Yeah, seems like it. Yeah.
By when?
By the end of the year. They've said Q4, which in ordinary language I think means as early as September, maybe December. Still needs regulatory approval. But the thing is, this has already happened in quite a few cities in the US.
But it's not widespread in the US. It's not common to get in a driverless car.
No.
So I guess for most people watching, we're still a long way off that moment?
Yeah. There'll be a limited number of driverless taxis. But that will still feel, I think,